West Virginia at Cincinnati. And when we were previewing this game, we faded each other, right? I took West Virginia. You took Cincinnati. Right, very different reasons, right? I trusted the ground game for West Virginia against like what's been pretty leaky run defense for Cincinnati, and you were kind of trusting, Brennan Sorsby, to be able to overcome that secondary for West Virginia, which has been very leaky itself. So it's kind of a battle of play styles right there. What was going to break? West Virginia comes out on top on this one. So, what are your thoughts on this game?
I mean, just brutal here. I mean, you have almost 200 more yards at home. You have almost 10 minutes more time possession, 15 more first downs than your opponent that you are maybe probably more talented than, and you lose by 7 because of the turnovers. West Virginia had 17 points off those turnovers. Yeah, that was killer. I mean, you were driving to go up 14-0, 4th and 1 in the red zone for West Virginia, and obviously the pick six there was brutal.
I mean, they love turning the ball over inside the 5-yard line. Cincinnati loves doing that.
Just brutal. And then obviously when you're trying to drive down and take the lead here, and then all of a sudden scoop and score there for West Virginia, not ideal. Not ideal stuff. But you know what? Cincinnati still has a chance to make a bowl game. West Virginia needed that to keep their bowl game hopes, pretty realistic for them. Very realistic, actually. We talked about Nico Marchioli, playing pretty good football, and he did it. He let that ground game go, but it was really just your defense making big-time plays. And sometimes that's just the Big 12, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, West Virginia only had 10 first downs in this football game, and they scored 31 points. So, yeah, I'm going to probably say that this is probably a right side for you. I think if we were to look at this game again, I would probably be on Cincinnati's side. All right, so I was maybe the beneficiary of a little bit of variance there in terms of my picks, which on the year I've done quite well with, but maybe that's just variance, But yeah, West Virginia, good way to find a win, right? I mean, you still have to say that, like good work, and when you're looking at the rest of the schedule, a Baylor team that you can beat at home, although Baylor's been playing a lot better football the second half of the season. UCF team, which you can definitely beat at home, and going on the road against Texas Tech, like all winnable, all losable. I would think that West Virginia finds one in that crowd pit right there, and their over and win total was 6.5, right? So I think expectations for West Virginia fans were pretty high because you were kind of gambling on the jump that Garrett Green was hopefully going to make, which never happened. And you were the offensive line returning, and that defensive front, kind of looking pretty solid. Maybe a better set of receivers than you've seen the last couple of years. But yeah, I mean, things didn't work out your way, and also it was a tough schedule, right? I mean, come on, I mean, Kansas State, Iowa State, Pitt ended up being a really good football team. Penn State, I mean, turned out to be a pretty decently tough schedule, right? And we knew that it was going to be a tough schedule, right? And I was pretty high on West Virginia coming into the season, but I think you're about meeting expectations of like what, you generally see. I was maybe a little bit higher on West Virginia than probably what we're seeing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'd love to hear the thoughts from our West Virginia fans, from our Cincinnati fans about their coaching staffs this season and the expectations you've seen from them. I've seen a lot of Neil Brown slander from the Mountaineer fan base, so I am curious to see if this win the past couple of days, right? You had the Arizona win, you had the Cincinnati win, and see if that changes things. If you are going to a bowl game, is that kind of where you feel you're going to be? Now you're 4-2 in the Big 12 here, with chance to improve that, by the way. And I think if you're above 500 on most years, and when every couple of years you can have a pop season, I think that's about as good as you can ask for in the Big 12.